At the start of the story, we see a brave king leading his army as they chase a terrifying monster. The beast disappears into its cave, and the king and his soldiers follow it inside. But the moment they enter, the creature breathes fire from its mouth, engulfing the soldiers in flames and killing them instantly. Left all alone, the king realizes he has no choice but to beg for his life. The scene then shifts to the present day, where we arrive at another kingdom, one that's suffering from extreme poverty. Its people are starving, struggling to survive. Here we meet the stunningly beautiful Princess Elodie. That day, an unexpected marriage proposal arrives from the prince of a powerful and wealthy kingdom. Overjoyed, Elodie's father believes this union could save their people and lift their kingdom out of misery. Though hesitant, Elodie agrees to marry the prince for the sake of her people's survival. Soon after, the royal family sets out on their journey to the grand wedding. Along the way, they spot a few dragons soaring through the skies in the distance, an astonishing and unsettling sight. Eventually, they arrive at the prince's magnificent palace. The towering architecture, lavish interiors, and breathtaking beauty leave Elodie awestruck. The royal family receives a warm and extravagant welcome. That night, while resting in her chambers, Elodie notices a strange fire glowing faintly atop the distant mountains. The next morning, the queen urges Elodie's father to hold the wedding immediately, the very next day, fearing her son might fall for someone else if they delay. Later, the prince invites Elodie for a private walk. Taking her hand, he says softly, "You are the most beautiful princess in the entire world. I'm the luckiest man alive to be marrying you. A woman as breathtaking as you is a blessing only fate can give." As they talk, they climb to the top of a hill. Elodie mentions seeing the mysterious flames on the mountains last night. The prince smiles and explains, "Those mountains are sacred to us. Before our wedding night, we perform ancient rituals there." Hearing this, Elodie blushes deeply. Meanwhile, Elodie's father has been behaving strangely ever since he first met the queen, restless, anxious, and uneasy. Sensing something is wrong, Elodie's mother presses him for answers, but he refuses to explain. Growing suspicious, she goes to the queen directly, but the queen coldly dismisses her, sneering, "You come from a poor, insignificant kingdom. I don't converse with people beneath me." Disturbed, Elodie's mother warns her daughters that something terrible is about to happen. Soon after, Elodie's father distracts her and quietly leads her away, clearly hiding something. The very next day, in a rushed ceremony, Elodie and the prince are married. Afterward, the prince takes her up to the mountains where a crowd from the kingdom is already gathered outside a massive cave. It's there that the queen reveals the horrifying truth. Long ago, a powerful dragon plagued their kingdom, burning villages and slaughtering people. In desperation, the king entered this very cave to confront the beast. But when he faced it, he surrendered. To save his own life and his kingdom, he made a dark bargain. In exchange for peace, the king promised to sacrifice his 3 daughters to the dragon. From that day forward, the kingdom was spared, but the ritual of offering royal brides to the creature has continued for centuries. Before Elodie can process what's happening, the queen slices both Elodie's and the prince's hands, joining them together, and declares, "From this moment you are bound as one. Now fulfill your duty, and give me a grandson." Embarrassed, Elodie blushes, but before she can react, the prince suddenly sweeps her into his arms and throws her off the cliff deep into the cave below. Elodie crashes violently against the rocks and loses consciousness. When she finally wakes, dazed and bruised, she cries out for help. But her voice only echoes in the darkness. No one comes. Her screams, however, awaken something far more dangerous. From deep within the shadows, the ancient dragon stirs. Realizing she's been betrayed and abandoned, Elodie makes a desperate decision. She must save herself. Climbing upward isn't easy. The jagged rocks tear at her skin, and she slips repeatedly, but she pushes on. Along the way, she stumbles upon tattered belongings, remnants left behind by other princesses who were sacrificed before her. Then, out of nowhere, a sudden blast of hot air brushes her face. She looks up and sees it. The dragon. The massive beast snarls, its voice rumbling like thunder. "You came here as part of the bargain, and, according to the deal, I will devour you alive. I can smell the royal blood in your veins." Before it lunges, Elodie bolts, running as fast as her battered body allows. The dragon roars and spews fire, scorching the walls around her. Barely escaping the flames, she dives into a narrow cave passage. Her leg, however, gets badly burned. Gritting her teeth, she tears a strip from her dress and wraps it tightly around the wound to stop the bleeding. Despite the agony, Elodie refuses to give up. While exploring the winding tunnels, she notices a soft blue glow radiating from deeper within. Following the light, she discovers hundreds of tiny, luminescent insects clustered together, shimmering like living stars. Carefully, she collects some of them, using their glow as a makeshift lamp. Suddenly, the dragon attacks again, blasting fire into the cavern, but Elodie squeezes herself into another narrow passage, escaping by inches. From outside, the dragon bellows. "How long do you think you can hide from me? In the end, you'll still be my meal." Inside the cave, Elodie notices hundreds of names carved into the walls, the names of princesses sacrificed throughout the centuries. Her chest tightens as she imagines their terrible fate. Overwhelmed, exhausted, and terrified, she finally collapses into restless sleep. When she awakens, she discovers something extraordinary. The glowing insects she collected have swarmed around her burned leg. Panicking, she tries to brush them off, but then realizes the impossible. Her wound is completely healed. What seemed like a nightmare turns out to be a miracle. Determined to survive, Elodie ventures deeper until she finds an ancient map carved into the stone walls, marking a secret escape route. But the path is treacherous, lined with razor-sharp rocks. Ignoring the searing pain as the stones cut into her hands and feet, she climbs relentlessly until she finally emerges outside the cave. However, freedom is still out of reach. She's now perched on the edge of a towering cliff with no safe way down. Trembling, exhausted, and overwhelmed, Elodie breaks down in tears, screaming for help. And then, a shadow eclipses the light. The dragon is back. It lands behind her, its booming voice echoing through the mountains. "No matter how hard you try, no one has ever escaped alive. Tonight, I feast on your flesh." Just as Elodie braces herself for the attack, a voice suddenly echoes from below the cave, her father's voice calling her name. Hearing the sound, the dragon bolts toward Elodie's father. At the same time, Elodie races in the same direction, desperate to reach him. On the way, she passes piles of glittering treasure, and among them notices 3 shattered dragon eggs. The sight hits her like a thunderbolt. The queen's story had been a lie. In reality, when the king first entered this cave years ago, he discovered the dragon's eggs. Inside them, 3 baby dragons were just about to hatch, but the ruthless king ordered the newborns killed. From that moment on, the dragon vowed vengeance. When the dragon once captured the king, he begged for his life. She agreed to spare him, but on one condition. "I want you to suffer the same pain I endured. From every generation of your bloodline, I will take 3 children as a sacrifice. Only then will I let you and your kingdom live in peace." Back in the present, Elodie's father frantically searches for her when the dragon suddenly emerges, blocking his path. Summoning all his courage, he declares, "I've come to take my daughter back. If I have to fight you for her, I will." Amused, the dragon responds coldly, "Then call your daughter here." Instead, he shouts, "Elodie, wherever you are, stay away. Don't come here." Enraged by his defiance, the dragon lashes out and kills him instantly. Elodie watches in horror as her father collapses. A gut-wrenching scream escapes her lips. Hearing it, the dragon locks onto her location. Seizing the moment, Elodie runs to her father's side. With his final breath, he whispers, "I'm paying for my sins, my child, but you must live. Find a good prince, make a life for yourself, and leave this cursed place. Your mother and sister are waiting for you on the ship." Summoning every ounce of strength, Elodie flees the cave, narrowly dodging the dragon's fiery attacks. She stumbles into the open air, but the dragon isn't finished. She bursts out of the cave, still hunting Elodie, scorching the ground behind her. By sheer luck and courage, Elodie escapes. From afar, the queen watches the chaos, her face twisted with rage. "That wretched Elodie has ruined everything," she hisses, "but I'll make sure she walks straight back into the jaws of death." Meanwhile, on the ship, Elodie's mother and little sister wait anxiously. Suddenly, the queen arrives with her guards and seizes Elodie's sister. Her plan? To sacrifice the girl in Elodie's place, protecting her kingdom at any cost. When Elodie's mother tries to stop them, the guards stab her. Moments later, Elodie, exhausted, injured, and heartbroken, finally reaches the ship. She finds her mother bleeding but alive. Through the pain, her mother manages to say, "I'll be fine, Elodie. I'll take care of myself. You have to save your sister. They're taking her back into the cave. Inside the cave, the queen slashes her own palm and then Elodie's sister's, performing the blood ritual that seals the sacrifice. She pushes the terrified girl toward the deadly pit. The dragon grabs Elodie's sister but doesn't kill her immediately. Sitting beside her broken eggs, she whispers darkly, "Your ancestors murdered my babies, but this time I'll kill Elodie to torment their souls. I know she'll come for you." Right then, Elodie sneaks into the cave, clutching her father's sword and carrying glowing blue fireflies, a rare source of healing power. She creates a loud distraction, drawing the dragon's attention away. As the beast turns, Elodie dashes toward her sister, almost freeing her, but the dragon returns. Pointing her sword at the creature, Elodie shouts, "We were lied to. They told us you attacked their kingdom, but the truth is they killed your children." The dragon roars back, "It doesn't matter. They were your ancestors. By killing you, I'll finally have my revenge." Elodie screams, "We are not their children." But before she can explain, the dragon attacks, her fiery breath burning Elodie badly. In a desperate move, Elodie plunges her sword into the dragon's eye, blinding her. Suddenly, something awakens deep inside Elodie. She exhales, and flames burst from her own mouth. But the power backfires, scorching her hand. Holding up her burned palm, she cries out, "Look at this! They cut us, mixed our blood, and made us royal. We are not their children. Those traitors live safe in their palace, sending innocent girls like me here to die. And you've been killing innocents too." The dragon hesitates, her rage melting into sorrow. Tears glisten in her massive eyes as she whispers, "Then my punishment should be death. Kill me." But Elodie lowers her sword. "No," she says softly, "I'm ending the cycle of hate." Using the glowing fireflies, Elodie heals the dragon's wounds. Now united, Elodie and the dragon storm the palace. Inside, the prince is about to lure another innocent girl into a sham marriage, preparing her for sacrifice. Elodie bursts in and warns the girl, helping her escape. Facing the stunned crowd, Elodie shouts, "If you value your lives, run. Leave this cursed place before it's too late." The queen snarls in fury. "You insolent girl, do you think you can defy me? I've sacrificed hundreds like you. Killing you will be my pleasure." Elodie's voice rises like thunder. "I didn't come alone. I brought your death with me." At that moment, the dragon crashes through the palace roof, unleashing a tidal wave of fire. The royal family screams as flames engulf the throne room, ending centuries of cruelty and deceit. In the aftermath, Elodie gathers the kingdom's treasure, not for herself, but to rebuild the lives shattered by the monarchy's lies. And as she returns to her own land, a once feared beast soars beside her, no longer her enemy, but her fiercest protector and friend.